Hey guys, it's Wert, welcome back to another video, and today we're going to be continuing our ranking of every single Smash Ultimate character from my least favorite to my favorite. This is going to be part 3 of this little mini-series I'm doing, so if you haven't seen part 1 or 2, check the description, they'll definitely be in there. But I also want to say real quick that I really appreciate the support. I'm getting a lot of really positive, feedback on this kind of ranking and list and stuff like that. I was really worried going into this idea that people would be really upset and negative with my selections of my favorite and least favorite, stuff like that. And I've seen the opposite of that, and it's been very nice to see. So let's go ahead and continue where we left off. Starting off with 47, I think it's 47, we have Lucario. Now, Lucario is someone that I think is very under the radar in Smash Ultimate. A lot of people don't play this character, a lot of people don't see the potential of this character, and I think this character is actually crazy good. The rage mechanic built into this character is super powerful, and like I said, I think there's a lot of potential with this character. However, as I mentioned a second ago, there seems not to be that much hype around this character right now. He kind of seems like someone that could be a sleeper hit eventually in this game. You could really get stronger and stronger as the game develops and continues, because I think he plays very smoothly and very fluidly in this game. So I'm a fan of Lucario. I'm kind of rooting for him to kind of pull through. I'm guilty of this myself. I haven't really experimented or played much with Lucario, but I've always liked Lucario as a Pokemon, and I've always thought he was a pretty interesting and unique addition to the Smash roster. So I'm all here for it, and I definitely am a fan, but the biggest critique against him is that I haven't really seen him shine the way I think he actually does have potential too. Next up we have Greninja, and Greninja is a character that I can say pretty much the exact same things I said about Lucario for Greninja. Like I said with Lucario, I think this character has a lot of untapped potential, a lot of really cool and fluid movement and stuff like that I think people haven't really capitalized or really mastered yet with this character. I've seen a couple people labbing this character, trying him out. However, for the most part, I don't really see a huge fan base following Greninja. He seems very under the radar. But I'm again rooting for him like Lucario. I think he's very fluid and very fun in this game. So hopefully he can, rise to the fame. I think he has potential to do. But yeah, I'm interested to see where this character develops and kind of continues from here on out. Next up, we have Robin. Now I'm gonna sound like a broken record or whatever. I'm gonna say it right now. Robin has untapped potential that I think people aren't really capitalizing on. Exact same things I said with Lucario and Greninja apply to Robin for the most part. I think Robin's actually a pretty interesting and fun character that people haven't really put enough time and effort into this character, and flies pretty low under the radar. But I still really like this character, and I think that he or she is a pretty powerful character in this game, has a lot of potential, and someone I'm overall rooting for. I know a lot of people are really annoyed with the amount of Fire Emblem reps and everything like that. It's just another sword character, but really Robin was the first big, magic user I can think of in Smash, and I think it actually does it a very good job. Well, there's Zelda and stuff like that, but Robin is a very, interesting character, very unique character, and I think there's a lot of potential with Robin overall, so I kind of wish more people played her, but again, I'm guilty myself because I don't play Robin all too much. Next up, we have Marth, and if you guys remember in the last video, we had a boatload of Fire Emblem characters that were very similar. We had Lucina, Ike, Chrom, Roy, and then a little bit ahead here, now we have Marth. And I think Marth is actually a standout from these guys. One, because he's the original sword fighter guy. Really, compared to all of them, he is the one that kind of kicked all this stuff off, and he's kind of the OG iconic swordsman of Smash Bros. It's kind of interesting that he's kind of transcended from, a Fire Emblem character into a Smash Bros character. When he was introduced back in Melee, he became so prominent that people consider Marth iconic, despite his games not being all that too popular, or the original Fire Emblem game not being all too popular, and he's really popular mainly from Smash Bros. So I think that's pretty cool, and I think that's actually interesting that he's kind of got that, personality and iconicness to him. I also think that his tipper and gameplay of him make him the most interesting and fun to watch of these kind of typical Swords characters, and I think that Marth actually does bring something unique to the table by having this tipper, because I think there's a nice little level of mastery to this character. I love playing Marth because, like I said, I think it's the most rewarding of these sword characters. However, I can admit I'm not good at it because I'm really bad at the spacing of the tipper and getting it very consistently. So I think it's a fun character that you can learn to kind of build your skills with, and I really respect Marth in that regard. Alright, next up we have Donkey Kong, who is kind of the iconic, legendary, character, one of the iconic characters in Smash Bros, and he is also, the heavy character. Everyone else kind of came after Donkey Kong, and he set a really nice precedent for all these other characters as heavies, and I think Donkey Kong in Smash Ultimate actually stands out to be a super fun character. Really surprising. I picked up this character just to kind of mess around, and I don't main him or play him consistently, but to me, he feels like he has the most kind of fun fluidness to himself compared to all the other heavies, and he feels very natural and fun to play. I don't know if it's just because it finally clicked for me, or if it's because, in Smash Ultimate, a faster kind of gameplay style than he was in all the past Smash games. It makes him really shine for me. but I think there's a lot of fun to his moveset and a lot of really fun stuff you can do. And of course, there's some kind of toxic, campy gameplay stuff people do with Donkey Kong, but there's stuff like that for every character, let's be honest. So I think Donkey Kong actually stands out in this game compared to past entries, and I think it's a really fun character in my opinion. Right next to Donkey Kong, we have another huge icon of Nintendo. We have our boy Mario. I say a huge icon of Nintendo. It's like the icon. It's the iconic character, video game character in general, Mario. And I really like how they handled Mario in Smash Bros. He does feel very, kind of like the Bowser thing, where he doesn't really feel like Mario should play for modern Mario games, but they kind of evolved into his own unique character in Smash, and I think it actually works really well. I think his character feels very smooth and fun to play. He does feel very similar to how he felt in Smash 4, which was, overall good, but yeah, he feels good in this game. So I think there's a lot of interesting stuff about Mario's moveset. A lot of people think he's really strong. I agree he's strong. He might be top 10-ish. I don't know. I've always thought people really overrate Mario. He has really fluid and fast combos. However, I think he's a very base level kind of top tier character because he is Mario. There's not anything too crazy complex about this character. He just flows really nicely, and that's really nice and smooth to play as. So overall, I like Mario in this game, and it's Mario, so everyone likes Mario as a character. So why not? Next up, we have the Squid Kid herself, Inkling. I really love how her moveset in Smash Ultimate really feels like it's been a character from Smash 64. Maybe that's just me, maybe that's just how I see it, but this character and moveset feels very authentic and natural in Smash and doesn't really feel like a new character trying all kinds of crazy stuff, but even does have, unique things about her abilities because, she has the paint and ink mechanic. So I think that's really cool how they handle her character. I think the moveset is done incredibly well. A lot of people consider Inkling to be a really strong character. I agree with the most part. I think she is a very good character. I honestly also think that she's a little bit overhyped on the tier list, a little bit too much, potential that she has but hasn't quite reached yet. I think there could be really great Inkling players out there, but I've yet to see Inkling blow my mind with their abilities and, ability to compete in the top level of gameplay. However, Inkling is a really iconic, or Splatoon is an iconic, or not maybe an iconic, but a really great, new Nintendo IP. I'm really glad it's in Smash. I'm glad Inkling is in Smash. And like I said, it really feels like a character that's kind of been here all along and deserves her spot along the way. So I'm a fan of Inkling, although I don't necessarily enjoy playing her too much myself. I still like her inclusion, and I think she actually plays pretty well in this game. Alright, at number 40, we have our boy Young Link, which I can kind of consider a new character in this game because he was brought back from Melee. And I don't think really anyone saw Young Link coming back because, why? We already have Big Link and now we have Young Link, so really why? But really he feels really natural and smooth and very fast character, a very cool rushdown character with projectiles, and yeah, very powerful character at that. I do think that he has kind of, low kill percent and stuff like that, but I think there's a lot of potential with this character. And I think he actually feels really nice in the Smash Ultimate engine, and all things considered, I'm glad they brought him back. He wasn't a character I was clamoring to see return or anything like that. It's not like Pichu, where it's like, oh my god, that's incredible, they brought him back. Young Link's kind of like, oh, they brought Young Link back. That's weird, but sure, why not? And it actually has kind of worked out to be his own unique character in that regard. So I think that's interesting. And like I said, in the competitive scene, I think he's kind of making a name for himself slowly but surely. One spot above Young Link, we have Toon Link. Now, this might seem weird. I seem like I talked a lot of praise about Young Link, and a lot of that praise can't really go in the same direction of Toon Link. Where, Toon Link has been in Smash since Brawl, pretty much the exact same moveset, and some tweaks here and there, but a very similar moveset to all the other Links, and nothing really too crazy about him. However, I think Toon Link in this game feels incredibly fun, and huge disclaimer, I'm finally going to reveal it, I main Toon Link in Smash. Yeah, there it is. He's my main in this game. And I know what you're thinking right now. Wait, if he's your main, how is he not the #1 pick on the entire list? That's not really how the list works. Even though he is my main, I do recognize that he's not, the most iconic character of Smash Bros. He's not a crazy brand new inclusion. And I even think there's things that they could do with his moveset to make it more faithful to the Wind Waker and other games Toon Link's from, and can make it a more interesting character and stuff like that. But I still think he's a very fun character. Obviously, I main him. And I think that he has a lot of potential. I think a lot of people see Young Link, they notice he's faster. They see Adult Link, they notice he's stronger. And they think that Toon Link's just kind of the one left behind in the middle. I disagree with that entirely. I do agree that Toon Link is a nice, in between of those two characters. He's fast and strong. Of course, not as fast as Young Link and not as early kill percent or kill power as Adult Link. So I think he fits a nice little niche right there, and I enjoy playing him so much. So I do get the, campy kind of part of his gameplay that some people can abuse, but overall, I don't think he's an incredibly broken character, but I do think there's a lot of good things about this character that he can pull off and be very fun to play. Alright, I know I feel like I've been talking about Links forever, but we got one more to go through. Next up, we have Adult Link, or just, Link. And this character, I think, is really interesting. It's a new kind of fun twist on the Link character, of course, having a remote bomb and everything like that, and a new look with the Breath of the Wild Link. However, I do wish there was a lot more they did with this Link, especially with bringing back Young Link and having Toon Link again in this game. I feel like they could have completely reworked this guy's moveset, and I don't think too many people have been too upset. I think they should have reworked this guy's moveset to be a lot more like Breath of the Wild. Take example, Byleth. Byleth uses a couple different weapons in his or her moveset, so I think Adult Link could have done that as well and got a complete overall rework of Breath of the Wild Link to make him more like, Breath of the Wild, instead of just having the remote bomb. So that is a little disappointing in that regard, but overall I do think that he is still a very fun and unique character in this game. He's a unique version of Link, and I think that I've seen some cool stuff with this character with his bomb combos and kind of the way he plays around with, a remote projectile he can blow up whenever he wants. So we're finally done with the Links. We're going to talk about our boy Mewtwo, and I think Mewtwo is such a cool addition to Smash. I know he's been in the game since Melee. They finally brought him back in Smash 4, and it seems like he's here to stay now, because Mewtwo is such an iconic and powerful Pokemon that I think his gameplay kind of reflects that. A lot of people think that he should be stronger. I think he's actually a pretty strong character. However, I do wish there was fixes to him. The tail hitbox and stuff like that is ridiculously stupid. They really need to kind of tweak his character, and I think he could be even more powerful and more interesting than he is right now. But he feels a very unique character. That's why I like him so much, because he doesn't really play or flow like any other character. He's a very floaty character. He's a very unique character with his specials and abilities and his throws. A lot of unique stuff that's very special to Mewtwo, and I think it's very fun and a lot of cool stuff you can kind of play around with and get really good at this character. I've seen some really crazy Mewtwo clips, and I wish more people picked up this character. I do think there's, a fan base about this character that wish he was better, me included. Like I said, I wish he was better because of the tail hitbox and stuff like that, but overall, I like Mewtwo, I like watching Mewtwo, and I like what he brings to the table. Next up, we have Palutena. Now, I know a couple people out there just moaned, thinking, oh my gosh, this guy actually does like Palutena. How could he? She's such a broken top tier. I do agree, she's very, very strong in this game. Do I think she's a little bit overrated? Maybe, but I still think that she is, at least top 5 and a very powerful character in this game. She has an incredibly good kit that can be utilized in a lot of cool ways, and overall, being a top tier, I think she's actually a lot of fun to play. She's not a character I main or play heavily, but every time I pick her up, I feel like her moveset just flows really nicely and smoothly, and kind of like I was playing with a couple other entries recently, like, Mewtwo, for example, a second ago. I think they flow really uniquely and very fun, so that's why I like her, so much and so high up here. I do gotta, say that she also has a unique personality to her. Being a goddess, I think she actually kind of she represents being a goddess and being a really all-powerful character very well, similarly to Mewtwo. So I think that's a pretty interesting thing about her character, and I definitely think she's made a name for herself in Smash Ultimate, even if it is just for the just for the powerful moveset. Alright, one up from Palutena, we have Pikachu, who I could say a lot of really similar things about Palutena that you guys probably think. Pikachu, in my opinion, is probably the best character in the game. I know a lot of people consider a lot of different characters very strong. A lot of people consider Pikachu, that would be like top 3, top 5. I think Pikachu is the best in the game. He's just super fast, really early kill potential, and really great recovery, really small, hard-to-hit hitbox. A lot of things overall that I think this character is the strongest in the game and has the most potential to do the craziest and, maybe not craziest, but strongest things overall. However, with that being said, like Palutena, being a top-tier character like this means you're a very fun and fluid character to play. I also think, like Palutena, it's not a stupidly broken top-tier character where it's like, this is just ridiculous. Someone like Meta Knight or someone like, who is it, Bayonetta. Pikachu really stands out to be, not that toxic of a character. I think there's a nice little skill gap to his character, and I think that he's actually like the best iteration of Pikachu we've ever had in Smash Bros. So overall, I do think Pikachu is a solid character all around, regardless of him being, probably the best character in the game. In my opinion, the best character in the game. Someone that's smarter than me might completely debunk that I think he's the best in the game, but who knows. Overall, I still like his character, and I'm glad, we have a top tier that's not incredibly broken or anything like that. And Pikachu, everyone likes Pikachu. You don't see Pokemon and go, I hate Pikachu. And people like him because he's, a cute guy. Next, we have Min Min. In the next couple of months, I might completely regret this, because as I see right now in offline tournaments in Japan, Min Min is apparently incredibly, toxic and very powerful. I see people on my Twitter feed complaining about Min Min all the time recently, but I have yet to encounter that, so I can't really speak too much on that on my own personal kind of opinion. But overall, I do think actually Min Min brings a very unique character and moveset to Smash Bros. That I actually kind of respect, in the regard that, you know, it's unlike anything else we ever had. Her specials are incredibly unique, her gameplay is very unique, she doesn't play like anyone else, and I think that's really, you know, commendable. And I'm glad we had an ARMS character edition that wasn't someone boring like Springman. Min Min actually seems like an interesting and unique character, and I think that she has a cool personality that comes through in her moveset. However, she's not as high as I'm kind of hyping her up to be so much, basically because I don't think she's fun to play. Like, I respect her kind of game style, and I think there's some merit to it. However, me personally, I don't have a great time when I'm playing her. I just don't really get the moveset all too much and can really pull it off too well. But I do think that there are people out there that are really good at this character, and I think she also has potential to absolutely make me angry in the next couple months, because I keep on seeing things like how she's such a broken and annoying top tier. But I've yet to encounter that, so we'll see what happens in the next coming months where she like rises to fame or something like that. But I've heard that about a lot of other characters and haven't seen it happen, so we'll see what happens there. Next we have Banjo, and I really put Banjo this high up almost purely because the hype factor about this character, where it's Banjo and Kazooie, a character that seems like it's been deserving to be in Smash since Smash 64, a really, you know, iconic Nintendo icon and everything like that from the back in the day. Not Nintendo necessarily, but Rare and Nintendo 64 icon, a huge platformer. Finally got him into Smash, and he looks perfect in this game. He fits super well. So well, in fact, I actually forget he's even in this game a lot. That's also due to his moveset, which I'm not a huge fan of his moveset. I don't think it's, you know, broken or super overpowered or really obnoxious or anything. It's not a moveset I really can get my head wrapped around and really have fun playing as or against for the most part. So that's the reason he's not as high up as he would be. You know, if he had a really fun moveset, on top of the factor that is Banjo finally coming back to Smash, he probably would have been in the top 10. But it really comes down to his moveset knocking him down this many points, because I don't think he's a very fluid and fun character in this game. But I am very happy that he's in Smash Bros. We finally got him. Maybe in the next Smash he'll stick around and get a moveset rework or something. Who knows? Overall though, I am glad that he's in this roster for sure. Next up we have Zelda, and Zelda is the character I admittedly struggle really hard against. I'm not the best fighting against Zeldas. If I find a really good Zelda, I've played a couple really good Zeldas, even not online but in person, it's a very hard matchup for me just because I struggle against her so much. But overall, I am actually glad that we actually have a Zelda that is viable in this game. Zelda has been in the game since Melee and pretty much never been usable up until this point. I think they did a great job reworking her kind of moveset, not entirely, but tweaking it a lot. It really feels like a brand new character, reworking how she looks. She looks like, you know, the 2D Zelda games, and overall just feels really unique and actually feels like she finally has a personality in Smash. Before, she was one of those forgotten and underused characters, but now we finally have a Zelda that is respectable and actually a unique character in this game. So for those reasons pretty much alone, I am glad to have her, and that's why she's so high up. I know I just kind of complained about her being very, very strong. However, I still think that she's not too bad. At number 31 and 30, we have Simon and Richter Belmont. Now, I'm going to be lying to you if I said I'm a huge Castlevania fan, and I played every game, and I knew exactly who Richter was before he came into Smash, because I didn't know any of those things. I knew what Castlevania was. I always knew it was an iconic game. I'd love to get around to playing it someday, but it was definitely not a game I was really a fan of. However, seeing how they incorporated all the Castlevania stuff alongside these characters into Smash was incredible. I don't know, it's just the stage, the assist trophies, you know, the World of Light inclusion, the kind of different levels with Dracula. This really felt like a game series that has been in Smash forever, and they included him, or not just him, but, you know, both the Belmonts really, really well. And I've seen comparisons between the Belmonts' movesets in-game and also, you know, in the original Castlevania games, and I think that they did an incredible job with their movesets, pretty much porting it like almost one for one, where it feels very, very smooth and natural. And I don't think these characters are the best. I want to be honest. It really comes down to things like the recovery, because, you know, recovery I think is so important in Smash Ultimate, but overall, I think there is still some really good potential with these characters, and I think they're very strong and powerful characters as well. So I really like the Belmonts a whole lot. I'm glad they're in here. Again, I don't really play these guys too much. I'm not really, even though I said I play Toon Link, I'm not really into the whole projectile throwing stuff. I know there's a lot more layers to these characters, but when I see them, all I want to do is just spam every B button in the world, and that's not something I absolutely love. I know that's very ironic coming from a Toon Link main, but, you know, it is what it is. But again, I really like how they're included, and I think they do a great job of including the Belmonts in Smash Ultimate. So I think that's going to wrap it up for this episode, or part, or whatever you want to call it, of my ranking from my Smash Ultimate characters, from my least favorite to my favorite. We're definitely getting close to the end game. I'm probably going to do 2 more episodes to round things out. And yeah, with the available characters left, you can probably figure out who's left or not. Try to piece together what my ranking ranking's going to be. Maybe that'd be kind of fun. So yeah, overall, let me know what you guys think of this episode and the characters I talked about here. If you agree, disagree with my takes, or whatever. So thank you guys so much for watching. Really appreciate it. I'll see you next time, and bye-bye.